So this is the shape that we are having right now after tightening everything that we need to tighten. So you can decide that you want to take these lines all the way. So in case you don't want to use your abdomen, you can decide to take these lines all the way down, but it might tighten your abdomen too much. So I usually just like to have my measurements and make sure it's just snatching just the waist area so that it's a lot more pronounced. So now it's time to draw the hem. So before we do that, we're going to draw the upper part. So to get this, remember I said it's starting at the underbust, you're going to curve it a little bit upwards, maybe by about 2 to 3 centimeters. So let's do 2 centimeters at the top here. And you're just going to curve it down like this. Like this. Then the back is going to be straight. Or you can make the back go lower. So I'm going to make my back go lower than this line. Okay. So now it's time to label. So I have my center back 1, center back 2. So all these parts where the dots are, I'm cutting them out. They are excesses. So I'll just take this dots up. So for the hem, I'm going to just let the back be straight, or it should curve slightly to meet this. So remember I said this this is where my corset is stopping. This is my corset length, my abdomen line for this pattern. So if yours is lower or higher, I'll work with that. So that's where the side seam should be, so that it doesn't poke into your corset. Now because it had a rounded hem, I'm going to come down here. So let's go like this. So let's do this. Okay. So you make this part straight and then you curve it up. So again, you can make the back straight or you can go up a little. So let's go up a little. Okay. So center back 3. So the thing with corset is that you have panels, and you need to label. You need to be very specific about which one is the top. So T is for top and H is for hem. You can use whatever figure you want. You can use bottom, you can use top, you can use up, down, whichever way. And this is your pattern. So I'm going to write W to label that this is my waist. And this is very simple. It's just like you're using your measurements. You measure your pattern, measure the original figure measurement you want, and you would remove it at different points. So if you are working with a panel that has just maybe 1, you can just use 1 line. So instead of having 2, you can just have 1. You can work with that as well. So you have 1, then the side thing will be 2, have another 1, making 3. So you distribute it into 3 places. Your dart will be a lot bigger, but you won't have so much lines on your corset like this. So this is the first pattern, and I'm going to start cutting it now. Okay, so now we need to do something which is called, especially when you're working with this type of lines, you need to make sure that your lines are going to be equal and you don't have to be trimming it when you're done. So I'm going to make paper tape. So I'm just showing you how to do this advanced one. You can do this straight, or you can even follow along with me. So I've cut the center back here now, and you can see that I just cut 1 dart. So I'm going to do that for all the darts. I'm not cutting the hem yet. I just want to get rid of the excess. Another thing that you need to notice is that for corsets, you don't curve the dart area. You use a sharp point because that's the effect that we are going for. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut the excess on the darts, and now I need to shape the hem properly. So I'm going to do it in 2 steps. So you're going to get your paper tape very small pieces, and you are going to align it at the waist. So we're starting with the hem first. Align it at the waist and place this, join it at the lower part. So while we are doing this is to correct the hem. As you can see, if I go ahead and take this to my sewing machine, I'll notice that they are not aligning. Okay, so now that we have this here, I'm just going to start to shape this hem. So based on your discretion, make this a little bit straighter. Okay, so if you are going to change the lines, you need to cancel the previous lines so that you don't make a mistake. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. So that's why it is the paper. That's what the paper tape is for, to hold it in place so that when I'm cutting it, it's accurate. So this is excess, which you throw away, and this is the hem corrected. So I've corrected the hem like that. So I'm going to do the same thing for the top. So this is your final pattern. Now, if you noticed, I haven't cut out this part that I said was going to be an opening, and that's because I wanted to explain something else there. So if in case you decide that you want to use a zipper, or you are going to put your lacing in the front as opposed to the back, you can actually leave this here and cut out your lacing in the front. So I know people that do that, but for this one we're going to be having the lacing at the back. So you can decide that you want this to be your modesty panel, and what that means is that there's going to be a piece of fabric that would cover your back. So you don't want your back to show. You can use this as a modesty panel to cover the back, but it's usually not necessary for an underbust corset, because usually except you are making it in a dress, then you can decide to put this, or you can even leave it open. It's based on your preference and your clients. So this is the pattern. So the seam allowance that you would add all around would be 2 centimeters on all the sides. So the center front will be on fold, or you can decide to add a seam there. It's going to be up to you. So I'm going to just leave it like this. So 2 centimeters all around. I am not going to add this modesty panel, but just in case you want to add it, you are going to get another piece of paper and add this back here and trace this whole part. So this part will now be your modesty panel, and you would also have this piece separate. I don't know if that makes sense. So the reason for having your modesty panel that much is so that you will just sew it together with the seam, and then it will overlap to the other side. Again, when I am demonstrating how to go about that, I would explain it in detail. If you have any questions about this pattern, make sure you ask it in the community, and someone will answer you with whatever you are having issues with. I'll see you in the next lesson.